have two fires, big giant ones, one outside, one inside, a little bit of scotch.
All right.
And a good book and a cigar.
What time?
Oh, forget about it.
What time?
I don't know. Well, tonight we'll probably. It's not cold enough tonight, is it? It's like tomorrow and Sunday.
That's what I'm saying. What time tomorrow? Come on.
Oh.
Out with it.
Well, what time are the games? You would think the sports talk show host would know what time the games kick off. I was doing everything but looking at the times. I was thinking about the matchup and is there a way San Francisco can get it done? I've taken to San Francisco here on that side of the bracket, and
so nothing tomorrow. It's all Sunday. It's 6:30. I think
they shouldn't do that. You should get one each day. We're left in the lurch.
Yeah, the Super Bowl's 2 weeks away anyway, so it doesn't really offer a competitive advantage or disadvantage for anybody.
No, I don't like it. I want to.
Like you could do the NFC playoff bracket from the start on Saturday, right?
Yeah,
and then the AFC on Sunday.
Correct.
Play it out. I like that.
I do too.
It's gold, Jerry.
They should have thought of it because now we're left high and dry. I mean, look, I understand at 3:00 tomorrow at the TLC Double C, we do get Florida State basketball against Virginia Tech. It's always fun, choo-choo, to be back at the house. And an atmosphere that quite legitimately is a lot of fun to be a part of these days. Although this isn't that kind of a matchup. 3:00 on a Saturday, coming off a loss to Georgia Tech when you're 13-6, and Virginia Tech is 10-10, 2-7 in the ACC, doesn't exactly scream, "Hey, everybody, let's load up the car and go." Now, I would advise it. I would do it.
You would do it.
I would do it. But a lot of the casual fans are probably like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm going to enjoy my Saturday. I'm not going to take it over to the TLC." The last time I was at the TLC Double C, when we won and we beat Miami, I believe that was the game, right? Wasn't that the game? Yeah, I think it was. No, it was Duke. I was at Duke. What was wrong with me?
I was on vacation. I didn't know which one you were talking about.
I'm losing it. Anyhow, the last two times that I've been at the TLC Double C, I have to tell you, Tom, the vista has been great and all of that, but I've gone with an injured calf. Now I can run up the steps. Oh, I can just fly up those steps.
Oh, is Golfing Cameron back?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I'm back. I'm telling you, man, I looked like an idiot trying to walk around that place with my injured calf. It was ridiculous. And I didn't want anybody to see me.
You look like a geriatric.
I looked like an injured man, a beaten, weathered, tired, hurting man.
The man who goes to the Tuesday 4 p.m. first pitch against Jacksonville. That's who.
I actually long to do that, by the way. Don't you right now?
Well,
it's
with
starting
this,
to hit you.
Hey, it pays off. Look at our showtime now.
I know we can do it.
We could book it over for a 4 p.m. first pitch.
We'll be able to watch Florida State baseball live again.
Baseball.
Oh, buddy. Well, and they're loaded. Now, if they can hit even a little bit, they're going to be just fine because they could pitch. Now, one thing I will say, we'll have Meat on. We'll do our extravaganza. We'll do the whole thing that we always do. But I got to get him on before that. I think he's excited. Last two times that I've spoken to him, he's excited about the team. And I have a suspicion I know why. They got a bunch of guys that throw 97. That's the reason.
That would be one reason to be excited.
That's
the reason I'm excited.
Well, to be honest with you, if you really like baseball, and I know that the number of people who say they do is dwindling, I will tell you that that may be the only baseball you see this year, because the dumbasses in MLB are going to screw it up, and that shouldn't.
You think so? I think they'll screw the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League, but I don't know about much more.
I really love spring training. I mean, that's how I know I'm old. One of the many things. That, and I'm frequently hurt. But I really love spring training. Really do.
You're really in that demo.
Yeah.
You're squarely in this
I
spring
love
training
spring training, and I'm frequently hurt. There you go. I'm officially old. That's how you know.
Next thing, you're going to be very quiet at basketball games. Come on, man. Yeah. You get sideline seats for a reason.
Can somebody sit down? Can we sit down? No, I won't be that guy. And I will tell you this much, in addition to frequently being injured and loving spring training, I'm impressed. It's the little things in my life that really I celebrate. It's not the big things. Like yesterday's a good example, Tom. Look how far they have come in the making of pants. Pants. We had this discussion yesterday.
Did. Oh, man. We're going to take it to the air. I love it.
Let me tell you something. Pants have never been more comfortable, everybody. It's an amazing time in which we live. If you think about the generations that came before us, not only were they fighting certain death before the age of 40, pestilence, probably getting eaten alive if you're left in the wrong place for too long. I mean, just tough times, wars. People just come on in, take your stuff. All of it is awful. But these days, not only does that not happen, but you can get a comfortable pair of pants on the regular. Jeans have never been more comfortable. Slacks have never been more comfortable.
Oh, man. You remember jeans back in the day?
Oh,
those
stiff
Levi's.
And they were terrible. You didn't know any better, though. You didn't know anybody. You were walking around terribly uncomfortable. You had no idea there was something called comfort.
You would hear the shaving of skin underneath the jean as you walked.
That's why, by the way, you wore them to death because you were trying to break those bastards in. And it took like 40 wears just to get them to where they would move with you.
Yeah. Once the kneecap got a little lighter, then oh, hey, he's had those a while. There you go.
Yeah.
Wore him down.
But so what I'm telling you is now with the flex pants, every pair of pants is comfortable. Guys, if you haven't bought pants recently, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to get them.
If you were in the designer market of the $150 pair of pants that flex fits and does the right thing all the way through with the pant leg, all the way up to where it needs to be.
Everything's key there.
It's a bad time for you because now we can get those for $24.99 and they're just as good.
I was showing you yesterday with my various stretches just how comfortable those pants are.
You were.
You couldn't believe it.
Painstaking detail.
Yeah, I'm showing you. Look at this.
I thought we were with old Trainer Bill back in the day. You're doing some lunges.
I was
doing all
lunges.
Kinds of stuff.
I was touching my toes. I was showing you. I said, look at these pants. They're moving with me. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I felt like I was getting my first instructions on how to, lunge squat. The old stretches.
In pants, in slacks.
In slacks.
Can you believe it?
And they were fleeced. They had fleece interior.
They had fleece interior for a cold day.
Corinthian leather.
Unbelievable. So that's the kind of fun and games that, you fall back on a Libations Friday. And it's also just taking the time to acknowledge that we live in the greatest time mankind's ever known. You and me. And I'm not talking about women. Women have had comfortable clothes and options for comfortable clothes for a very long time. Men have not. They didn't care about us. For the longest time, we didn't matter. I'm not talking about $1,000 suits. I'm talking about like your day-to-day throw on some pants.
Yeah, I'd say, women had it rough pre-1960 something. They had a nice little run here ahead of the men for about 30, 40 years.
Yeah, they had a hell of a run.
But before that, I mean, my God, the apparatus that they had to use, ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's true. But in my lifetime, they've had it easy.
Yes, okay, that's fine. That's what matters here.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about my lifetime. How does this benefit me most is that's the operating assumption here.
Take your girdle and stuff it.
Yeah, sorry you had to wear a girdle, whatever. But the point is, comfortable pants exist. What a Friday. What a good day. Anywhere you go, everything's flex or athletic fit. Everything. It's unbelievable. I even got a pair of chinos that are like that. I'm like, look at these. I love them. I'm going to have 19 pairs of pants. People are like, what's with all the pants? They're all comfortable.
They're giving them away.
I can't believe they're $20 and they're all comfortable. They look good. Look at this. Here, I'll stretch for you.
Well, that's the weird thing is there's a line that's been blurred between the slack, the old school Izod slacks from the 90s that, Brad Faxon used to wear on the PGA Tour.
Brad Faxon.
Versus nowadays where it's kind of a hybrid sweatpant slack.
That's
where we are with the material.
Congratulations to Corey Fuller, who joins Florida State staff in an off-the-field role. And the reason I say that is, of course, Corey was a defensive back here at Florida State many moons ago, back when I was in school and before even. And he, by the way, also went on to play in the NFL, of course, as you well know. But years ago, when I first started in radio, I have to give Corey credit. He called me one day. He probably doesn't even remember this. And he was awfully nice at a time where there was a lot of controversy centered around the show. He was awfully kind. We had a good conversation. And here's the other thing that I knew about Corey. Nobody loves Florida State more than that guy. Homeboy loves him some Florida State. I mean, it is. He loves Florida State. Loves Florida State. I mean, really love. And that's good because you want a guy on staff who's going to be able to sell that, right? He's been coaching in this area for a very long time. And so, I know that there's reason for him to be excited, but also he has always been an advocate for young athletes. And I think he'll do a good job. So congratulations to him. That's just a little bit of Florida State news. There's not a ton of Florida State stuff going on right now as it pertains to football, other than the interviews we have right there on warchant.com of all the transfer portal kids that came in, and you can get a little sense of there it is, a little sense of their personality or their lack thereof, if you're talking about Caden Lyles. And
in a good way.
Well, what? Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to think, oh, you know that Caden Lyles, stand-up comedian. But the point is,
unless he's going for like a Norm Macdonald set.
No, just he's what he is, starting center. That's what he's going to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man's for the birds.
So I'm excited about those kids and getting to know them, and obviously the ways that they affect this team. And I'm excited about all those things. But again, we're entering the stage now where we're kind of like, all right. Need you Florida State baseball. Need you Florida State basketball. Guys got to do some things. And that's where we get to tomorrow's game against Virginia Tech. By the way, we lead the all-time series between these old Metro Conference rivals. You know what the all-time series?
Man, I never. 32-27.
That's a good guess. 36-22. It's more lopsided. We've owned their ass.
It's my fault. Oh, that's right. Seth Greenberg coached there.
Mm-hmm.
We honed his ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit.
6 straight wins over Virginia Tech for us. We've won 11 of the last 14 matchups against the Hokies. So with 6 straight wins, we could get to 7 here over the weekend, and they too will see inching ever closer to them, the Platinum Bohica. You don't usually associate it with others outside of the state. Like if you could Platinum Bohica Miami or Platinum Bohica Florida, you'll celebrate that. But I'll celebrate Platinum Bohicas over anybody in the conference.
What would it sound like if you present a Platinum Bohica to a Hokie? That's what I'd like to know. I think the people want to know too.
Mm-hmm. I'll get I'm not feeling the turkey right now.
If we get there.
Yeah. If we get close, I'll come up with
one of my favorite games. One of my favorite games that we ever went to together was a Saturday afternoon, and it was Trent Forrest and CJ Walker's freshman year against the sweaty Buzz Williams.
Oh, my God.
You remember that?
I thought he was going to die.
We were sitting in the baseline, and that's when we knew that that was like the line change, the hockey line change with the energy group that played defense. Little did we know that Trent Forrest would turn into one of the most beloved figures in program history, but we were starting to like him an awful lot by that point.
We did.
That was when the program was starting to take that line, and it was going straight up into the sky. It's pretty awesome.
In the recent run of success for Florida State, meaning all of the tournament appearances and the Sweet 16s and the Elite Eight and all that, who would you say is the most popular Seminole on those teams?
So that cuts off when? Because we made the Sweet 16 10 years ago.
Well,
years ago.
No. Those were the Junkyard Dog days. Okay. I said recent success, and I would say the last 5 years. So who would you say, or maybe even the last 6 years? Who would you say?
It's Trent first, and it's Terrence Mann second, I would say.
Yeah, I was going to say it's Terrence Mann, isn't it?
You'd flip-flop him?
Well, but close.
It's
Trent,
the thing that Trent never got to finish the job.
He got screwed.
If he did, he would be easily number 1 because that team was going to the Final Four.
Yeah, they were. I'm still angry about that.
And it's the Wara dunk. He has the moments. You need a signature moment. It's not that that Terrence did not. But, I mean, if you're going to go for best moments in program recent history, then that dunk on Jordan Wara has to be one of them.
Yeah, man.
If not the one.
I would tell you that, man, I can still remember that as he rose to dunk on Wara. I remember thinking, man, that's bold. I mean, that Wara had the angle. It's not like that kid couldn't jump. That was just a whole lot of no, it ain't happening. Get you some of this. Take that with you.
It was in that moment that Chris Mack's fate was sealed.
Yeah, and I would tell you that that place has probably never been louder.
Correct.
That or Patrick Williams.
Well, and I thought it couldn't be louder.
Yeah,
from Patrick Williams earlier, but that was a steel breakaway dunk. So there's all that is a moment of coronation and celebration, which is great. Rises to a crescendo. It's awesome. But there was the shock factor with the Forrest dunk. I didn't think the Patrick Williams moment could be outdone because that's an NBA player elevating.
And it was a build because of the steal and the whole thing, yeah.
But that's an NBA player in Patrick Williams elevating. His head's going to hit the rim, and it's awesome. But then the Trent difficulty factor is there, and it's just you're stunned. It was a stunned celebration rather than one that was expected.
You know, it's funny, too, because I would tell you that of some of my favorite moments in recent memory with these runs of success, Dwayne Bacon on the road against Virginia, just shooting like unconsciously.
One of the worst TV calls ever. They had nothing left for that call. It was like Brent calling the KB touchdown.
Well, and I remember this. I remember thinking, that's a terrible shot. My God, what a beauty.
He also hit a big shot from the top of the key against Florida. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I remember all Bacon's big shots. He had a penchant for the moment. He did. He kind of had a little, every now and then you'd be like, what's Dwayne Bacon doing out here? He looks ridiculous. And all of a sudden, look at my man. Unconscious. No, he was
you talking about breaking down the zone. He was perfect for it.
He was.
He got to those spots.
Yeah, he did. But I would say that, it is Trent Forrest or it is Terrence Mann. That's tough.
The sneaky fan favorite is Fee. Cabangeli.
Well, I love Cabangeli, but he really didn't need to move on, as we've seen. He should have stayed here another year, but I get it, man. I don't begrudge anybody trying to get their money.
But you remember the infamous Duke game that we lost, unfortunately. One of the few moments the last 5 years where we walk out of there going, damn it. But that first half before Zion got injured, he was like, who is this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Because Fee was not afraid to defend Zion in the post, and he turned away a couple of looks with vigor.
Yeah, he was a great player, and I thought he was on the cusp of being a superstar in the league had he stayed another year.
Well, certainly in the ACC, you would.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. He was, and that's what I mean. I don't mean the league as in the. I meant the league as in the ACC. Yeah, I thought he was, and yeah, he was a good player. Terrence is probably the most not surprising success in the NBA. I thought he'd make a team. We said that. We thought that because he could do so many things well, he's tireless. He plays with incredible energy. All the cliches are true about him, by the way. The stuff about basketball IQ is true. The stuff about effort is true. The stuff about the ability to, stuff the stat sheet and do those, it's all true. But he's actually elevated his game. Like, my son has become a Clippers fan because of Terrence Mann. And he watches those games. I have to beg him to go to bed because they're on so late.
Yeah, if he had the perimeter shot that he has now in college, he would have been a completely unstoppable force.
Yeah.
Player of the year candidate.
Yeah, he was. We'll preview this game. I got to get to it. Florida State, Virginia Tech for tomorrow, and as well as the weekend football. It's going to be fun. Plus whatever rando stuff like comfortable pants I feel like talking about today. It's Jeff Cameron, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
There was a time when a person's word was enough, a time when a handshake meant something and integrity really mattered. Farm Bureau Insurance continues to live by these principles. That's our pledge, and it hasn't changed since the day we got started. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. I'm Andy Cohen with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Please call me at 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. From Hurricane Kate to Hurricane Michael, Tallahassee has been through a lot, and we've been right here with you because helping you is what we do best.
Just ask your doctor. The vaccines are our best defense against COVID. If you're 12 or older and you've already gotten yours, now you can give yourself a boost with a COVID booster. It makes the protection you already have even stronger. We can do this. Find boosters near you at vaccines.gov, paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
For over 5 years now, McGowan's Hops and Grapes out in Bannerman Crossing has shown us not only what excellent service is, but what excellent food is. They've got their bacon flights. They have their shareables. They have their BLTs. Yes, I said BBLT. I didn't stutter. They also have a tremendous draft beer selection and a fantastic wine selection that the owners pick out personally. McGowan's Hops and Grapes is the place to go. Great food and great people. Go visit them today out in Bannerman Crossing in Northeast Tallahassee.
Let's take a minute to imagine all the things you can accomplish with help from Southeast Portable Buildings. Are you a hoarder? Hoard some more. Get a storage shed. Mother-in-law moving in with you? Put her in a shed out back. I'm kidding. Still working on that engine that you're going to finish from last summer? Move it out to a new workspace with Southeast Portable Buildings. From she sheds and man caves to repair shops and trophy rooms, the possibilities are only limited to your imagination. Visit Southeast Portable Buildings today.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
With a survival benefit to your spouse. Well, listen up. It's a major decision. Once you make that decision, there's no real turning back. If you could take the higher payment from your pension and leave behind a large tax-free death benefit to your spouse, that'd be a good option. And listen, you can't help everyone, but often, if you plan in advance, you can solve your problems. Call Pete Tyson for a complimentary income for life report, which will help you decide what pension option you should take and the economic outcome should you predecease your spouse. The Income for Life report is simply easy to read, one-page report, gives you all the information. Call or text Pete Tyson, 850-523-6118. That's 850-523-6118, and ask for your complimentary Income for Life report. 850-523-6118, and you'll get the information that you're looking for there. I'm learning all kinds of stuff. I got to tell you. That's how irresponsible I've been. I've made no such arrangements anywhere. I have got to get it together, Tom.
Well, I mean, you're only in your 50s. You're good.
Just turned 50.
You got time.
Yeah. It goes quick, man. It goes quick.
Man, my dad's in his mid-70s, and he's happy to go to work every day. So you don't know. He might be working another quarter century.
Oh, I don't know about all that. I'm going to try to avoid that.
He enjoys going to work in compliance in his mid-70s.
Nope.
He's nuts.
Nope. No, my stepdad's an attorney, and he's in his 70s and still practices law. Gets up every morning, gets in his car, drives to downtown St. Pete to his law office. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You've done well for yourself. You've done 50 years of law.
Where does he drive from?
Bradenton to St. Pete.
Yeah.
You got to go over the bridge every morning.
Yeah, my dad goes by West Shore. He's in downtown Tampa from Palm Harbor every day.
Does he get out before the traffic? Does he leave at like 3?
Either he leaves at 3 or he leaves at 6:30. He doesn't mess with it.
Yeah, no, you can't do it. Can't do it.
No, not in Tampa.
I got a brother that lives down there, and he leaves to get to his office. He's arranged. It's nice to have flexible hours. These days, bosses kind of will do that. But my brother leaves to get to his office in Tampa at 4 a.m. to avoid morning traffic, but it also allows him to leave by, 2 in the afternoon or whatever.
Well, and when the interstate's all to yourself, it's a beautiful thing.
It's glorious.
It's almost like that's how they designed it.
Especially going in over the water like that, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's but anyhow, no, I wouldn't. I could see me punching my own testicles repeatedly getting caught up in Tampa traffic. I'm telling you now, that's not.
Yeah, I get mad that Benton hasn't been completed yet. I wouldn't do well in Tampa.
Or Atlanta. Ooh.
If it has, please put that on the chat. I would love that. Would make my Friday.
Yeah.
If Benton is connected again.
I'll answer your question. It's not. I can tell you that it's not.
Oh, really?
It's not even close. You got a ways to go, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah. I cracked up when I saw that, when they had the signs out there. It's funny when something starts to get built in this town, any town really, for that matter. I wouldn't think if something was going to take a very long time that you would advertise that fact. It's just all the more depressing. But when they first advertised it, I remember thinking, wait a minute, it's going to take you 18 months to finish this project?
Right.
What are you doing every day?
I put it out on Twitter because I didn't see the sign for the announcement, and somebody responded spring 2022, I think. I was like, oh my God.
Yes. And they've been working on that thing for a long time.
Because I don't always take I-10 home.
No.
I would like to be, man, you got to go Monroe to Mahan?
Is that what you do?
Fast backwards world is this?
Eric, to answer your question, which is we're happy to do, especially on Libations Fridays, we're a little bit looser, a little bit goosier, a little bit more fun. I will tell you that Jonathan Isaac is always hurt. To answer your question, what happened to Jonathan Isaac? He's always hurt. When he's not hurt, he's a plus player. When he's not hurt, he's a plus player. But it gets hard to keep up with when he's hurt and when he's not hurt and when he's playing, when he's not playing. I'll go long stretches. Like, I don't even know right now. Is he playing right now?
Oh, man, you're asking the wrong guy.
That's what I'm saying. Jonathan Isaac is so beat up all the time that I'm like, well, damn, man. And I think what's really weird, too? Well, that may be true. I understand his views on the vaccine and politics and other things may have hurt him as well. His overall game wasn't such that he would be in high demand. He was just a plus player, and he was frequently injured. So all of that, you couple in the other stuff, then yeah, maybe that's true. If he's just
be something, man. There's a lot of disparate viewpoints across major sports. Not to get into that for a segment, but I'm showing nothing on NBA.com. So the last stat was from the 2019-20 season.
Well, he had a knee injury and he missed an entire season.
It was bad. Yeah.
It was really bad. Yeah, it was really bad. So that would account for
like,
a lost year, and
daily
then couple
goings,
it with all that other stuff.
Yeah, the daily goings of the Orlando Magic. I was like, man, you got me. No, sir. But I did see that the Anaheim Ducks won last night. There you go.
How many in a row is that for you right now on this little run?
3. So they were up 5-2. It got a little nip and tuck. Got to 5-4 with 3 minutes to go. I'm like, what's going on here? So I did use my NHL Game Center to watch the final 3 minutes from Montreal, just in case.
I got a couple. If you want to go, you'll see it on Twitter. We posted on YouTube, I should say, the College Sports Book. I got 2 games for you tonight in the world of college basketball. Starting to get a better feel for this right now. I think my overall in my last 7, I am 5-2. So we're starting to get into a bit of a groove here with college basketball. Really, one of the things, I mean, I was jokingly saying at the outset of the show how fortunate we are that we can get comfortable pants. It's really a great time to be alive. But it's also a great time to be alive because if you want to be thoroughly informed before you step up to the betting window, you have options galore. Every stat, I know you do this for the stuff that you write on Warchant as well, Tom, but you get to see every facet of what a team does against every look imaginable from every spot on the floor, against elite competition, poor competition. You get to find out not only what you are as a team, but also what your opponent is as a team. Now, listen, it's still called gambling, and it's played by human beings, and these games are anyhow, and there are outliers. There are things that happen on a given night. A guy goes 6 of 8 from 3, and he's normally a 25% shooter. So you can't really always account for that. But what you can do is you can sit down early every morning and really kind of go through these matchups and look to identify 4 or 5 where if you think about tempo, if you think about offensive efficiency numbers, and you look at a team's maybe poor on the defensive end, rebounding, another team's got elite prowess and second chance point opportunities, and you see a total that you can be more informed now to a side or a total than at any point, more than at any point ever, in the last, however long people have been gambling on basketball. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, to that end, I can tell you that tomorrow for the Virginia Tech game, you shouldn't be concerned because Virginia Tech is going to break out a zone. So far this season,
percentage of times that they run a zone is
0.2% of possessions.
So you're saying not very frequently.
Maybe when the walk-ons are in. Maybe, or I don't know, end of half or something crazy like that. But 0.2% of all possessions as Virginia Tech run the zone. So if Florida State's going to have trouble tomorrow, it's not going to be for that reason. Not the reason that we saw on Wednesday night, where Georgia Tech entered the game running the zone roughly about 28 to 30% of the time before tip-off against the Noles.
Yeah, so to our point, right? Like, you now know how frequently each of our opponents run various styles and strategies on defense. It's crazy. Like, it's very specific. It's not like, well, they do it every now and again. That's the way we used to talk about games. Well, every now and then you'll see them break that up. No, 0.25% of the time is when they break out the zone. Now, they may watch the film.
That's the interesting thing. Okay, in the article, you can find it on Warchant today. I put together Analytics, which shows Florida State's troubles with the zone as a program over the last 10 years. Or are there troubles? That's what we investigate.
I think you were able to better offset that, right? You were able to show they really don't have this year. They do, but
they're mediocre. So 7 out of the last 10 seasons, Florida State has been better than average at breaking down zone defensive principles.
I met a guy last night. This is perfect for this. Okay, so while we carry on the conversation, so certain things get ingrained. The idea that Ham's teams struggle offensively was something born out of the junkyard dog defense days,
right?
Where
can't call a play out of a timeout,
all that stuff, right? But those games, as we recall, and they were having success. They were going to the tournament. They had a Sweet 16 run and all of that, right? But they were winning games painfully. It was difficult. You'd watch finals 52-48, things like that. But that's been a long time ago. I mean, a lot of time has passed since those kinds of teams won those games. It is true that the overriding philosophy from Ham and his staff is that until you understand an effort to play the kind of defense that they want to play, right, you won't get on the floor. But it is not true that he is a defensive-minded coach to the point that it's a detriment to the offense. That's simply not true, because he embraced the modern analytics and the modern approach to playing basketball. For lots of reasons he did that, and it benefited him greatly in recruiting. And we've seen that, right? So I still meet people like I did last night. Nice guy who's listened to the show forever, and he loves Florida State, and he wants them to win and everything. And he said to me, he's like, well, I just always feel like we struggle offensively. And I was like, why do you feel that way? And he started naming things that are dated. And not to be an ass, but just their dated ways of seeing, because most people are casual observers of Florida State basketball. This is not a fan base that is passionate. It's gotten a lot better. It's more informed than it used to be.
Especially in the city.
Yeah. In the city, yeah.
Regionally, no way.
No way. But I'm not lecturing anybody. I'm just pointing out observationally that anecdotally, this is Florida State's a football school. We know that. It's first and foremost, whereas Duke is a basketball school. And then if you talk to Duke fans, they'll be able to tell you everything about their team and how they play and the things they do well and the things they do poorly and why. And they are entrenched. They are immersed in all of that information. Same for FSU football fans. When you talk to Florida State football fans, on the whole, they'll tell you that, this team does this team doesn't do that.
I like Amari and Cooper. Well, that
all right,
is a deep cut take.
Right.
Yeah.
So there it is. But people who are casual observers and just want Florida State to do well, they'll see a result like we had against Georgia Tech. And they'll group that result into, the last 4 seasons and say, we really just always struggle on offense. I'm like, no, that's not true. We don't. And moreover, Florida State does lots of things very well, even this year, even while they're in a transitional year. They create turnovers. Now, they turned it over themselves an awful lot against Georgia Tech the
last
other
60
night.
minutes have been awful.
It was awful. It was awful, right? They're on a little tough run here, as will happen when you're playing a ton of young players. But they create all kinds of turnovers. They also get a ton of offensive rebounds. They do lots of things well.
Yeah, that's the other thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago, which is they are the number 1 team in the ACC in terms of age. However, they're 13th out of 16th in experience.
Right.
So you got a lot of guys who've been around a minute. Maybe with this program, maybe not, but they haven't played a whole lot of basketball, especially live basketball together in the ACC.
Well, and if you're thinking about who they're relying on, like there are 3 core guys who they need to score. All those guys, because Malik Osborne's injury is what it is. He's not really a guy you can rely on to score. So when you think about what they're doing with Matthew Cleveland and Caleb Mills, who's only been here now, obviously,
he's a roller coaster.
He's also only been starting for Florida State this year. This is the first time. So you have a lot of guys that you're Butler, guys like that are going to have good games, have bad games, have good nights, have bad nights. They're relying on a lot of inexperienced guys to go out there and try to win you some basketball games. And before the other night, they had won 6 straight of those basketball games. You can't be the prisoner of the Georgia Tech experience, which currently is frustrating to watch.
Which is predictable. It's a
days,
ride we've been on before.
It's weird, man. Pastor can't beat anybody else. Owns our ass. Pastor, God, drives me nuts. What's going on with the lamb chops? Get together, buddy. Let's go. Anyhow, so back to your zone talk.
Well, yeah. So if you look at the last 10 seasons as an average, we're in the 52nd percentile across the nation, which means we're basically mediocre to above average at beating the zone. If you look at, now this is the interesting part about implementation of zone, like an FSU specific game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So Duke is a team we've already played already. If you look at their zone usage, the percent of possessions that they run the zone, it's 4.4%. With the Florida State game, I would think that's accounted for a huge chunk of those possessions, right?
Mm-hmm.
They went to zone in the second half out of desperation. And you might argue that that's what brought Duke back into that game, was going to the zone.
Well, we got confused. Yeah,
yes,
exhausted.
It was switching to the southpaw, like Rocky 2, right?
Yeah.
So that means that before that game, Duke was playing in zone at about 3% of the time.
Yeah,
3.5%.
Yeah.
Right. So that worries me, saying that there's a limiting factor here. Now, Virginia Tech never runs zone. So if they do it, then they practice it this week for the first time. But Clemson on Wednesday night, which I think they had one free throw against Duke in a 2-point loss the other night.
Ouch.
2.5% of the time they run the zone. So even though it's a minuscule number, by the Duke principle of out of desperation, we go out of what we do to something that's going to work against our opponent. Wednesday night, I'm going to be interested to see, will Brownell break out the zone?
Got to get these 2 wins. It's going to be obviously very important for Florida State to get back in their winning ways. They've now had a couple really ugly losses, and I don't mean in the ACC in general. I think on the schedule, you've got 2 losses that are really going to hurt you and one really significantly good win. So we need to amass many of these.
The Miami road win may prove to be a second significant win, but you need them to continue to play well.
By the way, we're looking at this Virginia Tech team. Of the guys that contribute the most, 6'3", 6'4", 6 feet, 6'6", and 6'9". They're small.
We can play it that way.
Yeah, we can play it that way, and we can take advantage of that. We ought to be able to take advantage of that, is my great hope here. For Florida State, stop turning the basketball over. We play great here. I have a feeling we'll play well tomorrow afternoon. I look forward to it. But it's interesting because you don't know from game to game who's going to be the guy. That was a weird set of scoring numbers in this last game where you're just kind of, where are the points going to come from? If Caleb Mills isn't lighting it up, or you don't get Cleveland going for a stretch.
Can't expect Osborne, as you've said.
It does. All right. I think I just talked myself out of playing well tomorrow. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Florida Highway Patrol issued a caution to drivers to be careful when traveling through smoke in Suwannee County. A prescribed fire in the Osceola National Forest located in Baker County will lead to smoke traveling as far west as Suwannee County over the next several days. Motorists are urged to use caution as visibility may deteriorate quickly, especially during night and early morning hours. Remember to reduce speed and use low beam headlights in order to adapt to changing weather conditions. People who want to pay tribute to Florida while finishing up a meal might have to order 2 desserts. Florida already has an official pie, key lime, and the Senate on Thursday unanimously voted to make strawberry shortcake the official state dessert. Senator Danny Burgess called his bill a very important piece of legislation. He represents Plant City, which is the heart of Florida's strawberry industry. In order to make the bill sweeter for the state's dairy farmers, strawberry shortcake would have to be topped with Florida-made whipped cream in order to qualify as the official dessert. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A wind chill advisory begins at 2 a.m. early tomorrow morning and continues until 11 a.m. tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 61 this afternoon under overcast skies, winds out of the northwest, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows around 30 tonight, mainly clear. Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 47. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 59.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASC trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bloodstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
It's Congressman Michael Waltz on the Greg Tish Show.
Good morning, Congressman. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well.
Again, just what you have to go through day in and day out. I don't know how you have hair left, or like Matty Rowe, just completely bald.
Hey!
Sorry.
And the irony of it all, the progressives are the tail wagging the dog. This whole bipartisan White House is a joke. We're just watching them eat their own.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
The running for, or the need for, I should say, a new roof. Our guys at T-Spark Construction, Roofing and Construction, are who you're going to want to call. They did mine. They worked on Tom's house, your first house.
That's right. My first and only.
And listen, it's important that you hire companies that have employees versus subs. T-Spark employees are insured to be on the roof, go through training and safety courses to do so. Every Monday, Travis walks his guys through the safety training. It's a drug-free work environment. Drug-free and criminal background check policies are the norm. Commercial, tenant building outs, all that good stuff. If you're looking to open a second store, new restaurant, they do it all. Solar panels, all of it.
We walked the property of my house, and he gave me a walkthrough on everything from drainage to, obviously the roof, but ideas on siding, things in the back.
You said drainage. Makes me think of, by the way, call T-Spark 766-1340. It makes me think of There Will Be Blood.
Oh, yeah.
The drainage scene in the bowling alley. I could watch the scene over and over again. You know what came on last night? I got stuck.
There Will Be Blood?
No, wish it had, but No Country for Old Men came on.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the problem. I was going to bed. I was like, okay, let's go to bed, relaxing, flipping around,
What
watching
did you see, like the coyote in the distance or the very beginning?
It's the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well, you're stuck. What are you going to do? You can't go to bed. No Country for Old Men is starting. It's a rule.
Well, what's the threshold?
So the hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, like is it midnight when
or
see
is
this?
it 20 minutes into the movie? Like what is if it's the first 5 minutes, you can get away with it. You can be like, nope, you're not going to get me. But if it's in the throes of where stuff's about to hit the wall, I almost caught myself there. Then I think you have to stick around.
No, but the problem with all of their movies, and it's a good problem, is that they're all so smart. There's a lot of little things you miss, and you watch those movies a second, a third, and a fourth time, and you always discover something. And we've had this conversation. And so a lot of times what'll happen with me, if I'm flipping around and let's say it's early and it's like, let's say it's 9 o'clock or it's 9:30, we're getting close to bedtime. We're getting, we're starting to be wrapping it up. And I flip over and I see the start of one of these all-time great films, like in this case, No Country for Old Men. Then I see something new. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that the first time. And there's long periods of wonderful silence in their films too, by the way, where it gives you time to think. So you're thinking along with the character. Like Josh Brolin coming up on that scene, like what would you do? I'll ask you right now. If you rolled up on a scene of murder where you
I don't think I would have gotten that far.
You wouldn't have gone down there?
No, I don't think so. Matthew's nodding because you
Would you go down there?
Oh, no. Okay. He would not have. I was like, what are you nodding for? You call me
Well,
a wuss?
he does a good job with the binoculars. He's looking very, very closely to see if there's anybody there, if there's any movement. There's nothing.
Right.
You're out
the man
middle.
sitting in the tree in the distance.
You're right.
All that.
You're out in the middle of nowhere. I think I'd have gone down there. Curiosity would have got the best of me.
Well, you just don't go back and give the man water. That's it.
Well,
Ball game.
It was eating at him. See, he had a conscience. It was bothering him. Also, I would never have. He does a lot of smart things. So when he gets to the hotel and he grabs the one room and then two over, and then he's pushing the money down the thing. I remember thinking, golly, to think to do that, well done.
And to not check the money for a transponder.
Yeah.
Go put it in a different bag, first of all. People will recognize
By
that
the way,
particular parcel.
How fast is that pit bull swimming at him?
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's an amazing thing to watch. That thing is hauling ass.
Yeah, it is. Heard a hole in oats?
Yeah.
Hole in ass.
Yeah. I remember thinking, oh my God, this is not good.
So it's funny you mentioned that, like rewatches and the extra benefit.
I stayed up past midnight watching the damn thing.
So I'm rewatching The Sopranos for the second time, just the second time I've seen it all the way through. I'm on season 4. And, you know, Vito. Vito is the big guy.
I know
who
who
has
Vito
a
is.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I know where that's going.
Right. Well, anytime there is a slur of any kind hurting on homosexuality, because Vito's in the mob and
I get it. Yeah.
Anytime leading up to it, before they introduce that
Before
part of his
they find out
character,
that
he always winces every time.
Really?
It's like an Easter egg. Oh, it's brilliant.
You would have never known.
Correct.
Yeah, see, that is brilliant.
And I saw something today. So she's starting to like, or the guidance counselor likes her. It's AJ's guidance counselor, who's talking to, he calls up Carmela. He's like, hey, can we go get dinner and we could talk about ideas, which is, I mean, skeezy.
Yeah.
They're at the macaroni grill. He takes her to the macaroni grill. I didn't recognize that because they always go to Vesuvio and eat, I see the loaf of bread in the middle and I go, oh my God, he took her to macaroni grill. You idiot. And they're telling you he's poor. I'm like, oh, look at this poor guy.
They did a good job of fully vetting the characters and who they are, what they make, everything about
He talks over her head about authors and literature and stuff, but he can't take her any better place than
the macaroni grill.
A mobster's wife.
You know, I'm not trying to besmirch the macaroni grill, but sickest I ever got was at a macaroni grill.
It's gone here.
So I know. I remember it was on Appalachian Parkway. I remember.
I miss it.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I got sick. It was crazy. You know how most of the time you can feel like you're getting starting to go downhill?
Yeah, sure.
Like we were sitting at the table. It was a big thing, big to do. There were a lot of people there. It wasn't my first choice. We're there. We're eating.
Did you like the people you were with, or did you have to be there?
Well, both. I had to be there, and I did love the people that I was with.
That's important.
Yeah, it's very important.
Because it's worse if it's an obligation to be
yeah,
there.
and it's a place you don't want to be. No, I would have just said no. I'm not going. But this was one of those, I needed to go. It was probably a good idea that I go. But we're eating, and probably 10 minutes into eating, I was like, man, I kind of leaned over to Christy, and I was like, I'm not doing well. Now, we're with people that are, family members. So there are people that could get her home if I needed to leave. You don't want to be in a restaurant feeling poorly.
Right.
And I'm sitting there, and it went from 0 to 100. I was like, well, I'm starting to get a little clammy.
Yeah, you can't fake that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
In terms of the look, like they'll know. She would know, right?
Yo, without question.
Get out of here.
No, I started getting clammy. And I remember it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a problem. I gotta get out of here. And they're in the middle of a conversation. I go, all right, love everybody. I'll see you later. I just stood up. I gave my wife my wallet. I walked out to the car.
How far?
God.
Where'd you go? Did you go to the old station? Where'd you go?
No.
You could have made it all the way home.
My buddy was renting a property that I owned.
It's right there.
Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have made it all the way to Georgia where you live from the macaroni grill.
No, so that was a fun knock on the door. I knock on my buddy Eric's door. I mean, I'm the landlord. He has to let me in. He opens the door. He's like, what? I go, oh, sorry, move out of the way. That's a toughie.
Oh man, it's amazing.
That's a toughie.
We have macaroni grill stories too. My roommate and I, my old roommate Matt, and our friend Mike, who now lives in Jacksonville, when we were all dirt poor living here, and I was with the station in the beginning. So my parents, I had stacked up a huge thing of gift cards to the macaroni grill. My parents always put it in as a stocking stuffer.
Yeah.
birthdays, Christmas, $50 here, 25 there.
Hey, everybody, let's get loose.
I had
let's get loose
hundreds
at
of
the
dollars.
Macaroni Grill, everybody.
I was like a general manager of ours years ago. The trade I had to Macaroni Grill, you wouldn't believe it. So Fridays, we would go to the Macaroni Grill.
Whatever you want.
For half.
Whatever you want,
no,
everybody.
that was all mine.
Yeah,
Listen, I was hoarding. I didn't have much money. Half-price wine, and apps. We were known at the bar at the Macaroni Grill on a Friday.
This ass walking in with his trade. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys.
It wasn't trade at the time. It was necessary funds.
Left you $5. Appreciate
I was tipped well off the gift card.
Every one of you. Thanks for the 6 bottles of wine and the apps.
This Chianti is delicious.
There's a $5 for your troubles. No,
the spicy pasta again. Are you going to go with a meat at any point?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
spicy pasta.
That's rich. I have not had the chance. We didn't, and of course, I say I didn't have the chance. I could have easily done it, and I will at some point. You and I need to have the conversation about how it actually happened. Baseball decided not to vote Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens into the Hall of Fame. I know nobody talks about baseball anymore, but that's kind of a big damn deal. Those two dudes in particular did not get in. It actually happened. I was stunned. You're not worried about it?
Give or take. I know it's bad producing, but
I also brought it up. Wait, I'm going to bring it up again because I have a thought on this because a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, said something hilarious about that situation, which I'll share later on in the show. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio.
Lighting, and so much more. Check out all of Hearth & Patio's options online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth & Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
The all-new Smitty's Tap House and Grill is now open. Smitty's reflects a deep appreciation for fine craft beers and tasty bar treats, with family recipes handcrafted by Smitty himself. Try the house-made giant pretzels, made from scratch mozzarella sticks, and some of the best cheesesteaks you've ever had. We're not even scratching the surface on what Smitty's Tap House and Grill has to offer, so be sure to visit Smitty'sTapHouse.com to check out the full menu. Smitty's Tap House and Grill on Thomasville Road, just north of Cary Forest Parkway.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. I'm just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to drink water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT. Greta Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. High-stakes diplomacy continues in an attempt to avert a war in Eastern Europe. The urgent efforts come as 100,000 Russian troops are massed near Ukraine's border, and the Biden administration worries that Russian President Vladimir Putin will mount some sort of invasion in the next several weeks. Speaking from the Pentagon, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says invading Ukraine would not benefit Russia.
In addition to the significant economic and diplomatic costs that Russia will incur, a move on Ukraine will accomplish the very thing Russia says it does not want: a NATO alliance strengthened and resolved on its western flank.
Russia's top diplomat, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, says that Moscow will not start a war, but also warned it wouldn't allow the West to trample on its security interests. Also at townhall.com, President Biden has visited the site of a bridge collapse in Pittsburgh.
The president, who was already scheduled to be in Pittsburgh for an infrastructure event, added a stop to his itinerary this afternoon and went to the bridge, which collapsed into a ravine this morning. While there, he spoke with emergency personnel and local officials. Before traveling to the state, the president made calls to Pennsylvania's governor and Pittsburgh's mayor.
White House correspondent Greg Cluxton. Authorities say there were minor injuries from that collapse, but no fatalities. Virginia's new attorney general says state colleges and universities cannot require students to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Republican Attorney General Jason Miyares found that because the state legislature had not passed legislation specifically mandating coronavirus vaccines for students, the colleges and universities do not have the authority to require them. Stocks are higher, the Dow up 218 points, the S&P 500 52 points higher. More at townhall.com.
Let's ring in the new year by checking off an important to-do. Your old videotapes and photos are fading as each year passes. VCRs are becoming extinct, and the clock is ticking to save your family's most cherished memories. Hi, I'm Adam Baselog.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve your captured moments by converting all your videotapes, photos, and even film reels into perfectly preserved digital files.
Legacy Box is the easiest resolution to do and can be done in minutes. Just fill your Legacy Box, send it in, and we'll send it back with your memories perfectly preserved.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
Let's kick off the new year right by rescuing your memories that haven't been watched or enjoyed in years.
Order your Legacy Box today.
Go to legacybox.com/LBox for 40% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/LBox for 40% off. legacybox.com/LBox.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
good as Tennessee's. So, or not as consistently good across the board. So I would imagine they'll protect Joe Burrow a little bit better. So offensively, I expect they put up points, but I mean, you're not going to stop Kansas City at this point, and they're going to have to create turnovers. I mean, I really, that's the only way you could probably do this is generate turnovers. Perhaps maybe you get, a few negative plays, flip the field a little bit, but I keep leaning towards if the weather's not crazy inclement, this just being a really crazy high scoring game, right?
Yeah, that 54, that's a sneak preview. We talked about it yesterday, but that would be the pick for this weekend. 26 days ago, Cincinnati beat Kansas City.
It was a fun game. I mean, they came back, they were getting smoked. You remember that game? The second half was wild.
Yeah, Jamar Chase did what superstars do, took over the game.
They'll bracket his ass, though. There's no way you let him beat you.
I agree, which means that T. Higgins, you're on high alert here. But Burrow threw for 440.
He went nuts. That game was the weirdest game. The second half of that game got crazy. It just didn't make any sense. I mean, it was a fun game. It was another moment for Joe Burrow, who's had a lot of them this year, by the way, and same with Chase. I mean, if you're a Cincinnati fan, you're in good hands moving forward. You've got two dynamic playmakers that are going to be a lot of fun to watch for years to come. And really one major problem, which is your offensive line is wildly inconsistent. And on the whole, there it is again, not very good. So I guess, they're easily fixable. O-line, free agency and draft. Let's go. Let's get this thing right because you got a star running back, a star tight end, a star wide receiver, a star quarterback.
I'm just worried that both these games are going to be lousy on Sunday.
I can tell all week long you've really been kind of a downer when it comes to these games.
I'm more bullish on the Cincinnati-Kansas City game than I am the second one. I don't know. That Rams team, that front four, looks like it's ready to dictate terms in a way that Super Bowl champions do.
Yeah, well, when I was talking about trying to create turnovers, those kinds of things, for Cincinnati, Trey Hendrickson is that guy, right? He's been fun to watch. That's kind of been the unknown. People overlook a lot of these things because of the dynamic offense. And Cincinnati's got a couple guys on defense that change games. In fact, if you look at next-gen stats, he's caused one turnover by pressure in each game in the postseason after forcing 5 during the regular season, which is tied for first. I mean, that guy creates turnovers with his ability to get pressure on the passer. So there it is. I mean, if it's easy to stop, because it's easily identifiable, then somebody would have done that, and nobody has been able to do that. And that's where you see like TJ Watt. Like everybody knows going in, that guy is a menace. Nick Bosa is a menace. Everybody knows these things, but don't stop him. You can't commit more than 2 guys to. Well, you can, but obviously at the expense of something else. So it's not so easy. Maybe he does. Maybe he generates a couple of turnovers. You flip field position. If it's a high-scoring game, maybe that's enough in the way of possessions to win another shootout. I mean, that's the hope, I think, if you're Cincinnati.
Yeah, the hope is it's a shootout. For America, we're just hoping for the same thing. Give me 34-31. We'll figure out who wins, but let's see it. Light it up. How about the heir apparent too? Because it's funny how quickly things change. Like Mahomes is now one of the vets. He's been around, even though he's only been around
consecutive AFC championship games,
like for a minute. In the grand scheme of a Tom Brady career or Drew Brees career, he's been around just a minute. But now he's going against the upstart kid. And there's another one that didn't even make the playoffs in Justin Herbert. It's crazy how quickly you become an elder statesman in the NFL, but that's the way this looks. And I hope that this very much is the master and the apprentice type deal.
The other game, San Francisco and the Rams, I think we're quick to assume because the Rams are the sexier team. They're more fun to watch. They have more weapons. There are lots of things about them that appeal to us more than San Francisco. But the truth is, this will be the 3rd time they've met. Obviously, San Francisco swept them during the regular season. They've won 6 straight times. And they do a lot of things very well that take the Rams out of what they want to do. And so it's kind of fun to think that it could happen again. I'm with you. It's hard to believe it's going to happen again. It's especially hard to believe it's going to happen again because of one player, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Like Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel are going to have to go nuts in this game in order for it. Or the total has to look like it did at Lambeau. Like that's the path to this being a compelling game, right? It's not 34-31 like I was just talking about with Cincinnati and Kansas City. The path for this being a compelling game is 21-17, 24-20.
Well,
that's what it would have to be.
The 27-24 win that they got from coming back from down 17.
Right.
Played more in line of what you're suggesting has to happen here, but that's the way they have to win all of their games because they win with Kyle Shanahan's run design, and that's what they do. They run the hell out of it. They're very, very physical. They put Jimmy G in situations where he doesn't have to make real difficult throws. He can do it off of play action. They do attack the middle of the field a little bit there. Obviously, you've got Kittle. So it'll be interesting.
Well, what did they do to beat Dallas? Played complimentary football to get out in front. You know, they were leaking oil towards the end, and you're wondering, how the hell is this a football game in the fourth quarter? How does Dallas have the ball with a chance to win? Like, how do we get here? But if they get out in front, then they become that much more dangerous. But if you get up 10-0, the way that the Rams did on the Bucs, if you get up 10-0 on the Niners, that's trouble. That's real trouble.
Even though they came from 17 down the last time. I understand what you're saying. I know this is a
different stakes, different. Yeah. And last week they were down, but they needed a punt block for a touchdown to beat Green Bay.
But one of the things that they do, excuse me, every week, and it gives them a chance, and it is a throwback, and it is old school, and it's why they're so easy to embrace, because they're the antithesis of what we see in modern football. They are physical. Very, very physical across the board. It is a bully ball. It is a nasty, physical, bordering on over the line kind of physical football. And I love it. I love to watch it because it shows that there is still some of that can win. Like, you can go far playing that style. You do need to make some plays. Your quarterback has to step up and make some plays. And I understand that, special teams won them the game last week, but also their defense was exceptional. I mean, Aaron Rodgers threw for 55 yards in the second half. While San Francisco's offense was doing nothing, their defense just kept chapping it up and going back out there going, time to get another stop, keep playing, everybody.
Oh, totally fair. And I could see that being a path. I don't think that's what's going to happen. And I hope it does. I want 2 compelling championship games on Sunday, please. Because a lot of times this weekend is more of a dud than the divisional weekend. If you're looking for action-packed
the best.
NFL, it is.
It's always the best. I love the divisional weekend. I talked about that last week before the games. And something to point out, just because we don't always focus, we tend to focus on the negative. We don't always focus when we get what we want. We just move on to the next thing we want, instead of saying, hey, did everybody recognize that we got what we wanted? Isn't that cool? Last week, all we talked about was the potential for Buffalo and Kansas City to be one of the great divisional matchups we've ever seen. Like, all the ingredients were there. We talked about the superstar quarterbacks, the weapons galore, both teams, the Bills defense, all these things that we talked about. We said, man, this could turn into an all-time classic. And people are arguing whether or not it's the greatest game ever played. We got what we wanted. And not only did we get what we want, because some games that are close are not necessarily well played. This was well played. This was interesting. And the best players played exceptionally well.
Yeah, see Bucks Rams last week. That's a close game, but was it well played? No.
It was ugly.
No. And some close games aren't close until the end. Teams meet up at the end. See Florida State Auburn national title. That game was the whole way. You're like, whew. It reminded me of Villanova, North Carolina national championship in basketball.
That's college basketball.
One of the greatest games we've ever seen.
We both sat there in awe. We were at the corner pocket, and we're like, it was a heavyweight fight. Just one punch, another punch. Here comes a punch. Here comes a punch. I'm like, these two teams are not having it.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Yeah, the
at
under
one point,
16.
you just want to hug your friends. You're like, look at this.
The under 16. We were there for opening day baseball. We stayed all the way, which is a hard thing to do, but we made it.
Oh, yeah.
Under 16
Pacing.
of the first half. You go, oh, wait a minute. What do we have here?
We have a little something
and
here.
It never stopped.
Never stopped. Usually halftime ruins momentum. You're like, it won't be. That half was incredible. We won't get that again. And then we did. And then here's the whole bar with 30 seconds to play. You're like, this is incredible. You're like a little kid. The Chiefs-Bills last weekend, I was like a little kid. My whole family came in one by one. Like, at first we're watching. They're like, hey, Dad, what's the score? They're kind of coming in and out. They're with their friends. But before the end of that game, the entire family had gathered in by the kitchen. We were all sitting there staring, screaming at the TV. And none of us are Kansas City fans. None of us are Bills fans. We were just like, this is awesome. That's the best.
It is. Yeah. Toe to toe.
I just wanted to bring it up.
If we're going to get one, it's going to be the first game on Sunday.
No, I know. You think these two games are going to be duds, and they very well might be. They will. There's no chance they can be as good as that game. Every game last week was insane.
Yes, keep saying it louder.
There's zero chance that game can be as good as the last game you watched last weekend.
All right. He's done it.
I've guaranteed this game will be the best we've ever seen by telling you all it simply cannot be. Hey, if you want to smile before we take a commercial break, I'm going to read you a quote, and it'll make you smile and everybody else smile who hates Bryson DeChambeau as much as we all do. Here you go. So he didn't make the cut. Now, I should note really quick, and I won't stick on golf. I know you guys get upset when I do this. It is a veritable who's who of superstars that have missed the cut at Torrey Pines. They all did, much to my chagrin in some cases. But that's listen. Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Ricky Fowler, Sam Burns, Tony Finau, Phil Mickelson. The list goes on and on.
Slim Shady himself.
All these guys didn't make it. Yeah.
You see that?
What?
Brooks' hair?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's just. Are you surprised? That's your hero. I've told you.
Hey, The Real Slim Shady is one of the great albums of all time.
Yes. By the way, I would also point something out here. Of all the guys that I just listed that didn't make the cut, the one that really chaps me is Sam Burns, who went off and had a great Thursday or Wednesday. And then thanks for the.
Yeah, I still can't get used to that. This Wednesday through Saturday stuff is too much.
I like it. I mean, I just, yeah.
They don't want to compete with the NFL on Sunday. I get it. That's fine.
So DeChambeau hurt his back on a swing. Looked very Tiger-esque. He was kind of like turning and holding his arm and doing all this stuff. Turned out it was his wrist, not his back. We'll see. But after the round, he was asked about it. Here's his quote about his ailing left wrist. You're going to like this. Here you go. This is so perfectly him. It's like when Aaron Rodgers was asked about his future right after they lost to San Francisco. And he doesn't say anything about what a year it was and how he feels bad for the fans and how, they came up short, that they were the 1 seed. They got to do better and that he can't wait to get back with his brothers and get back at. No, none of that. His first thought was, I'm not going to be part of a rebuild. Because of course that's what Aaron Rodgers said. Of course, it's beneath you, Aaron. I understand. It's beneath you. This is sort of akin to that. You ready? Here's DeChambeau about his left wrist. It's been bothering me now for about 3 or 4 weeks. You see, all of this speed training, it's definitely taken a toll on the actual muscular structure for me. Initially, when I said my hands were hurting me, it was more the skin on my hands. Now, it's just gotten to a point where I'm putting so much speed into what I do and so much force that the wrist can't take it. We've got to take better care of my wrists. Oh, sir. That's too good. Is that not too good?
Who does?
We. Is that just, come on, you have to love this. Sorry.
I think I'd walk around the course if I was anybody who didn't like him, just with wrists limp in the air, like I was coming in for a handshake, one David Cutcliffe. Like, take care of the wrists. Save the wrists.
I'm going to read it again. Think about saying those words to a reporter. You get asked about your injured wrist, and then that is your answer. It's been bothering me for about 3 or 4 weeks now. All of this speed training, it's definitely taking a toll on the actual muscular structure for my wrists. Initially, I said my hands were killing me. It was more about my skin. Now it's just gotten to the point where I'm putting so much speed and force into the wrists. We've got to do a better job of taking care of my wrists. You won't find a bigger a-hole walking the planet.
So did you see the one comment in the chat says that's the Scott Steiner math promo? Have you heard the Scott Steiner math promo?
No.
Do you want to hear the Scott Steiner math promo?
Sure.
You remember old Scott Steiner?
Yeah, I remember Scott Steiner. Yeah.
All right, well, let me grab it.
Created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning.
Yes.
If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you as sacrifice.
Oh, man.
That's what Bryson sounds like. I think that's accurate.
I want Bryson to continue to talk about his wrists. Somebody needs to ask him about his wrists every week and the extreme force and the speeds that he's creating. It's never been done. History of humans never happened, Tom. Nobody's ever been able to put that kind of force and speed into their wrists. There's a muscular problem now because of all the speed and force that he's generating.
It was the skin at first, and then it just found its way under the skin into the muscle.
At first it was just the skin. Like, I created so much force and speed, I was burning the skin on my hands. And we didn't know what to do about that because nobody's ever created this much force and speed before. So how do you keep from burning your hands? But now there's a muscular problem with my wrists. The structure is falling to pieces because of the force and the speed that I create through sheer mass and strength and training.
We've got to do better
at taking care of my wrists. We have got, as a society, we're going to have to do better at helping me take care of my wrists,
and then
guys.
when he does the around the world gesture. Ow!
Oh, I love it. Good job, Bryson. The gift that keeps on giving. Jeff Cameron, Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Stuck in an expensive timeshare contract and feel like there's no way out?
I'm almost at $10,000 in 4 years. I've never traveled anywhere.
They made this sound that this would be a really good deal, that I could go anywhere, anytime I wanted to. That never worked out.
I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO of Wesley Financial Group. I've helped thousands of people get rid of their timeshares. I know all the tricks because I'm embarrassed to say I once worked in the timeshare industry. We've saved suffering timeshare owners millions in debt and maintenance fees. When you're approved as a client, I guarantee you a 100% success rate. We'll get you out of your timeshare, eliminate your payments, and get them off of your back permanently.
I honestly would recommend that you call Wesley Financial. They will help you.
Call Wesley Financial Group now for your free information kit. If they can't get you out of your timeshare, you'll pay nothing. Call 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595. That's 800-600-9595.
Are you stumped on who to call for fast and affordable crane and tree service? Deep South Tree Service is a cut above the rest. They go out on a limb for their customers. With the largest crane in the Big Bend area, no job is too tall, no job is too small. Call Rob for a free quote today. 850-877-TREE. That's 877-8733. Deep South Tree Service. Our roots run deep.
I may be Dr. Nina Ford Johnson, but I'm a mom first. My babies will be getting the COVID vaccine as soon as they're old enough. The risk from COVID far outweigh any risk from side effects of the vaccine.
Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Every great construction project, whether it's a new addition or renovation, starts with a plan. At T-Spark, we are excited when our clients contact us to assist with that plan. Through our team of architects, draftsmen, engineers, we can help you with your project's planning and design, potentially saving costs in the long run. Whether you have a residential or commercial project, we look forward to working with you. Call us today or visit us at tsparkconstruction.com. License number CGC 1525336.
Your body is a masterpiece designed to heal itself from within. Learn how to maximize your health by tuning in to Phenomenal Health with me, Dr. Ryan Finn. Saturdays at 2:30. Experience true health today and call Finn Chiropractic at 386-7700.
Our friends at ISF work hard to help their clients solve the future. ISF is an integrated IT and management consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, serving clients all across the country. With the new year upon us, ISF reminds you to create a clear strategy, optimize your process, and modernize your technology to meet all your goals in 2022. For more information, visit ISF.com. That's ISF.com. ISF, solving the future.
Hi, I'm Andy Cohen with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. And as an agent with Florida Farm Bureau, I'm continuing that promise. Farm Bureau Insurance has been protecting what matters most for over 75 years. Your home, your auto, your family, your life. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. At Florida Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Go.
Once we get to the lyrics.
But it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. Like
yeah.
that opening chord, you're like, oh, there it is. There it is. We're walking into it. This is not good.
Yeah, it's like the old Wayne's World bit, where Alice Cooper's just like, "Oh, did you know Wayne?" Like, "Hey, can you do that?" Of course. Give me just one moment, please. And then, bam.
Yeah.
Fire rains down.
So we're unanimous in this. We're all taking the Rams this weekend, even though we're rooting for San Francisco, perhaps.
I mean, you could do it. It sounds like you're on the brink of picking the 49ers.
I'm rooting for the 49ers. I'm not picking the 49ers. I'm also rooting for the Bengals, but I'm not picking the Bengals. That's an interesting Super Bowl if you got it.
Super Bowl if you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's, it's also historical because it's happened before, and I remember watching it. That's how old I am. And I watched Joe Montana do what he did against Cincinnati.
Oh, see, no, I thought we were talking about the Rams coming through.
No, I'm talking about the Rams. I'm talking about the 49ers and the Bengals playing in a Super Bowl.
Right.
It's happened before.
John Candy game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great game. It was a great game, a very memorable game. And, it's funny about that story. Montana gets asked about it all the time. I'm not so sure it played out the way that it does in Lure now. Like he does admit that he pointed out John Candy. I don't know that it happened on the last drive. I think it happened before that. And then it just made to sound that it's an example of how cool under pressure he is.
You telling me that Steve Sable and NFL Films are liars?
No,
they were gospel as a child. NFL Films.
I miss the days of kind of coming home and watching the whole thing of NFL Films. It was mesmerizing. Now the football is omnipresent. It is always around. The NFL is 24 hours a day. This is the same sort of thing happened where you could get. Once you had access to every game, you never want to give that back. So every basketball game is on television. Every football game is on television. Every Major League Baseball game is on television. But this week in baseball with Mel, it was like the greatest thing ever. I watched that just to see the highlights of, Rod Carew and other guys from the American League that I never got to see play.
I was in a middling generation between where we are now and where you were because I had SportsCenter every day. And SportsCenter was the show, period. And Baseball Tonight in the summer would come on at noon after SportsCenter ran 5 times, and I watched it all 5 times. I watched Baseball Tonight. And those things did a better job of creating characters. They created characters. And at the NBA on NBC, you only got to see them once. I know for you it was CBS. But you only got to see these teams very rarely until the playoffs. And so there was an anticipation of every one of those games.
Right.
And then you trusted SportsCenter or NFL Films or Baseball Tonight to tell you about these particular players. So those graphics that they put up on the screen on Baseball Tonight now or MLB Tonight, you're like, whatever. Those used to be everything. Like if your team had a player who had a graphic, like, oh, they're bragging on us.
Yeah.
It's a proud moment for us. They created the characters for you.
Yeah, I miss part of that. I miss aspects of that. I don't want to go back to a time where we don't have access to all of the information. We don't have access to all of the video. And we don't have access to all of the games as they're being played live. Like I don't want to go back to that. It's one of those things where you can get nostalgic, and then when you really think about what you're nostalgic about, it's stuff that was missing, like that you were missing and you wanted to see but couldn't. And so you wouldn't want to go back to that, but it did create lore. It did create a larger than life feel to certain players, certain games, teams, aspects, managers, you name it. Yeah.
The closest thing we have to that now as baseball fans is Quick Pitch. Great show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Quick pitch, the 1 hour, whoever the host is, it doesn't matter. You get to all the games, you see the rundown of the games, and if your team's playing, like, oh, I'll hang on for one more segment. They're second up in the next segment.
Yeah, you see it on the side, yeah.
It's the same production company that does hockey, so they have On the Fly. I wouldn't expect anybody to know what the hell NHL On the Fly is here, but it's the same show.
Mm-hmm.
And the graphics they have, they're instructional, and you get what you need in an hour. That's the closest thing we have to what SportsCenter was when I was a kid. It's great.
We have a mutual friend, and I alluded to this last hour. We'll take a quick break here in a second. But before I take that break, I will weigh in finally here on the whole situation with the Hall of Fame, and in particular, Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, both of whom we now probably believe, even though we didn't at the time because more evidence has come out, should be in the Hall. Because if you exclude them from the Hall, then you're excluding generationally great players from an era where everybody was cheating. And at the time that we were like, nope, you don't get to go because you got caught. So I used to push back on the argument about who did and who didn't, because people would say, I remember Colin Cowherd did this, and others would say, well, we don't know who did and who didn't. No, in some cases we know exactly who did. And at that time, I would get angry every time they said, well, we're not certain, we think. No, we know. The leaked grand jury testimony, we know that happened.
That's Barry, and that's also Ortiz got popped on the 03 random test. So you know that for a fact as well.
Right. So a lot of these things we 100% know that they did. In some cases, they admit it. In other cases, it was off the record, but we found it out later on and all that stuff. But eventually what happened was we found out every player in baseball at that time was cheating. That Canseco, oddly enough, was accurate when he said 70 to 80%. Okay, that's just about right. So you're either excluding everybody who played during that time, which would be grossly unfair, or you include all these guys, even the known cheaters. That's true. But here's what our friend said, and I thought this was so well put that I wanted to read it to you because you'd get a kick out of it, and it kind of sums up where I'm at with Barry Bonds, who I had the misfortune of meeting. Not a great guy. He is exactly the bad guy you think he is. I don't really care, but he is exactly the bad guy you think he is. And I watched him be an a-hole to people in the stands at a spring training game. Imagine doing that.
That's hard to do.
It's really hard to do.
You got to be special.
Yeah. People complain that Barry Bonds, is being left out because he was a giant a-hole, and that's not part of the criteria. And that's accurate. But I'm also not going to lose too much sleep about a giant a-hole finally facing the consequences for being a giant a-hole.
I think I know who that is.
Yes, but that's really well put. I was like, very well done, sir. Off of the cap. Yeah, I'm not going to lose sleep over this. You're right.
I wonder if more my age are like me that still enjoy baseball. Because when I was growing up, I'm 35. Baseball was huge in the 90s. Absolutely huge. Ken Griffey Jr. baseball was just the tip of the iceberg. The weekly games, the World Series, it mattered greatly. It wasn't all NFL all the time just yet. But the Pete Rose argument happened all the time. ESPN did the special on the Pete Rose argument.
That's a very different thing.
Then there's the steroid era. You know what? It's sacrilege. I've been there. I don't care. I don't care about the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't. Because it's already been bastardized to a point in my life in the last 20 years that all we do is we bicker about it and writers choose it I would rather the executive committee choose the class every year than the writers. This writers thing where you always have the holdout who's like, they can't have 100%.
Right.
The whole thing is convoluted and stupid to the point that it sours what the Hall of Fame means to me as a fan. I don't care.
Which stinks because you've been.
Oh, yes.
It's incredible.
And it is amazing.
Cooperstown is an amazing
Two
place.
things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I can't wait to go back. It's an amazing thing. I love the history of the game. I love the numbers. I care about the numbers greatly. I think it's the only sport where it really does matter, those numbers. And it's something they should champion, but they get too caught up in their own nonsense. And then they get, well, a lot of the writers do, certainly. They use it as a weapon. Not what you do here. Not what you do at all, especially when the hall is littered with really terrible people who may have committed murder. Yes, there are all kinds of people in there.
But it's like going to a destination that you want to go to, a concert, a game, a vacation, and you go with somebody who is miserable, doesn't want to be there, and can't help themselves from telling everybody how miserable they are. So now you've ruined my time. You've ruined all I want to do is be here, and you've got to complain every 5 seconds about things that are not perfect, and you'd rather be somewhere else. Now I can't enjoy my vacation. That's what the Cooperstown situation is like for me now. I don't care. Everybody complains about it too much anymore.
Yeah, but I guess by everybody, it's those that care deeply about.
Anybody who covers baseball talks about this topic and talks about it at length.
You can't not talk about the topic. He's the all-time home run leader. I mean, just the numbers.
Yeah.
you can't not talk about that. The guy that owns the home run record is not going into the Hall of Fame.
Right, but it's the legitimization of the writers have to, stamp you through. It's just like stupid.
Well, right. What I think you can have the conversation. You can be very sensible about it. Like, I think that these one by one you can have. Like, you could, if you want to group Clemens and Bonds together, I get why you would. But you could say the conversation surrounding Pete Rose is separate, and you can do it without being high and mighty. You can say, look, man, a man was gambling on baseball in games that he was managing. You can say, even if he bet on the Reds, his team, right? He bet on them to win, still influences his bullpen decisions at the end of games. So it is the very reason why that is the golden rule that you cannot violate. You're affecting the next day's game and the game after and the game after that, and all of the other things that come with it. Andy lied about it 3 different times, and people died while they were going through this investigation, all that nonsense. So you can say, I can have this conversation, and he shouldn't be in, or he should. You can counter if you'd like, whatever it might be. And it doesn't have to be this other thing, this holier than thou debate. It's just hey, it's a sport. I like the sport. These numbers matter to me. Here's what I think about it. You can just do that without it being this other thing.
Yeah, agreed. It's almost like having the conversation about Mike Martin Sr., the manager. You go through it every year.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same argument every year.
You don't anymore.
I know we don't anymore, thankfully.
Yeah.
And not because 11, is in
No
the
longer.
twilight of his life, but just because that was
It
tired
got old. It got
for
tired.
20 years.
Yeah.
And that's where I am with Cooperstown. It's like, enough. I don't know what the right answer is. Just figure it out so we stop being up in arms with pitchforks no matter what side of the aisle you're on about it. And let's just allow for the ceremonies to happen. Wouldn't that be nice? And let's go there and visit. That'd be great.
I do want to go there and visit real soon. I love that place. I'm like a little kid when I go there. I've been there twice, both times. Like, this is awesome. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
One man is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a shooting near the intersection of Keith and Liberty Street. The shooting happened around 8:45 p.m. and TPD was able to identify and detain one suspect in connection with the incident. The shooting remains in the ongoing investigation, with more updates becoming provided as more information becomes available. Florida State University has closed the Sandals building as precaution after several faculty members raised concerns about air quality and environmental safety in the building. The Sandals building houses the College of Health and Human Sciences and is located on West Call Street on FSU's campus. The university said in a statement that they have found alternate locations for classes and approved remote work for faculty and staff. FSU is using outside experts to conduct environmental testing, including measurements for radon. The building will remain closed until further notice. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by McLemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McLemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A wind chill advisory begins at 2 a.m. early tomorrow morning and continues until 11 a.m. tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 61 this afternoon under overcast skies, winds out of the northwest, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows around 30 tonight, mainly clear. Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 47. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 59.
Did you know metal roofs' survivability far exceeds that of traditional shingle roofs? It's time to consider a metal roof from Metal Roofing Sales of Tallahassee. We provide the best quality, least expensive material and accessories in the area, as well as material pickup and delivery. Our painted panels qualify for the City of Tallahassee's low-interest Energy Star loan program also. And don't forget about our veteran law enforcement discount. Give Metal Roofing Sales a call today at 536-9123, 536-9123.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
Do you know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
A woman only identified as Mrs. Wong posted on Chinese social media she had gotten locked down after a first blind date. She discovered that their date's community had gone into swift lockdown after visiting his house for a meal.
This absolutely has to become a romantic comedy. Lockdown Love. He was looking for Mrs. Right, but he found Mrs. Wong.
Lockdown. Starring Matthew McConaughey. All right.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Prince Show brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at
as we get set to wager with Mama every time because, well, at least the last couple of years we've had real drama, but not this year.
Yeah, what's the count at now?
Oh, I think I'm up like, I don't know what it is. I was at like 9. I think it was up by 9, maybe 8. I don't know what it is currently, but it's not gettable for her. I can tell you that. The games, by the way, so I mentioned them, the time, and Tom correctly noted that there's no game on Saturday. Both games are on Sunday. 3:00, Cincinnati and Kansas City. 6:30, San Francisco and Los Angeles. And then we're down to 1. And it's that gap of 2 weeks before we get to play it. So there it is. If you want, cue it up. We're ready.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
Hey, Mom, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Unfortunately, I picked the Rams last week, and they won.
I know. Well, so did I. Did I do it on, maybe not on our show here, your show, my segment, but I did in the little pool that we're in. So that was the only game I won.
Yeah, the numbers last week in that other pool that we're in, I went from undefeated to a mess.
Yeah, I know you were. I know you were undefeated. Well, last week was a mess. I'll tell you right now, it was not a good weekend of football for me. I tell you, I really, I had quit watching our game because it just got me too upset, and I thought 27-3 or whatever it was.
Well, 27-3 at one point, Mom.
Yeah, I was like, this game is over. And then, everybody knows I usually a lot of times don't watch when it gets, stressful. And so you were texting me, Aaron was texting me, are you watching this, Mom? Are you watching this?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not. Just keep me posted is what's happening. And then, of course, everybody was like, you got to turn it on. And as soon as I did, of course, and we tied it up, and I thought, my God, we could go into overtime. We could actually win this game. And, of course, we know we didn't. So
inexplicably, we allowed the best receiver in football to run free for 2 consecutive passes. Yes.
I do not understand that. I will never understand that. Now, didn't I tell you that I heard Bruce Arians say that it was supposed to be an all-out blitz, I guess, and all the defense didn't get the call. How the hell does that happen?
He's speaking gibberish. They rushed 6. That was the amount of guys they had sent at the quarterback in the game, and it was the wrong call, and they knew it going into the game because Matthew Stafford had the best numbers in the league against the blitz. There was no reason to do it. You were going to play coverage. They didn't play coverage, and they allowed for that to happen. You put a safety in one-on-one coverage against an elite wide receiver who did what elite wide receivers do to safeties. It was the dumbest thing in the world.
I just don't understand it because of course, our defense didn't play too well in the beginning, but at least we got to the point where we were in the game and we actually tied it up. I'll never understand how that could happen. I truly don't. For Todd Bowles, who's supposed to be so fabulous, how does he let that happen?
Todd wasn't good this year. He didn't have a good year. Now, a lot of his safeties and a lot of his defensive backs in general. Yeah, a lot of people got hurt, but he did not have his best season. He did not put his best foot forward this year. There's no doubt. And it was just a continuation of that in the postseason, unfortunately, in that game against the Rams. But nonetheless, here we are. Kansas City.
But at Buffalo, then I thought Buffalo was going to win. I was having a tizzy over that. 13 seconds. I thought, good God, that's to be a Buffalo fan is even worse than what we went through as a Bucs fan.
To say the least. Yes.
Oh, my God, I could not believe that.
Oh, it's way worse for the Bills fans. They've never won a Super Bowl. I mean,
I know. I felt so terrible for them. I truly. Oh man, that was heartbreaking, and it's not even a team that have ever even really cared about.
Yeah.
But, anyway, it was very hard. Then that brings me to a point about how do you feel about the overtime rule and the fact that one team may never get the ball.
I don't really care. I mean, don't give up a field goal with 13 seconds to play. Don't be a dumbass and kick the ball to the back of the end zone. If you squib it and they have to return it and you tackle them, 5 seconds run off the clock, and we're never in that situation. It's just, look, I get that people want to see both sides touch the football, but defense is equally part of the game. And I know that you have an entire game in which you can get stops, and they took the lead with 13 seconds to play and choked it away. So. Hey, then you subject yourself to the whims of a coin toss. It's the way it is.
Oh man, that is just heartbreaking. I'll tell you what. But anyway, yes. So now here we are to this week. Holy moly!
Cincinnati at Kansas City. You're going to pick Kansas City, are you not?
Well, yes, I know I should, because I do think they will win. But listen, I can't win in our thing here this year anyway. So what the heck? I really want Cincinnati to win.
Well, you and me both, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'll just take them. What the heck?
Sure. Yeah, just take whoever you want. Doesn't matter.
That's right. I could come up 2 and still lose by 5.
Yeah.
or 6 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's San Francisco and in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want the Rams to win. The only thing I like about the Rams is Matthew Stafford. That's it. End of story. I know there's a lot of good players and everything, but I don't like the Rams. And so I want San Francisco to beat their butt.
All right. Well, you're rooting for San Francisco, and so am I, but are you picking them?
Yep.
Might as well, right? Yeah, same principle. Okay.
Might as well.
Yeah.
I'm picking them.
Hey, so really quickly, think on this for a second before you answer.
Okay.
Why do you hate Sean McVay? Because just for people at home who don't know, my mom hates him.
Yeah, I really do dislike him. I think he just doesn't act like he should act. I mean, he's in your face. He's like running down the field with I just don't like that. And he's like, he looks very egotistical to me. And I just don't like him. I don't like how he's so just raw, running out on the field and carrying on like he does. I don't know. I just don't like
his antics are your answer. Okay.
Yeah, his antics. Yeah, his antics. I just I don't like his antics. Is absolutely right.
So, it's all for show. So it's all for.
What?
Is that what you're saying? It's all for show. He knows where the cameras are.
Yes, I think I just don't you think he looks like a jerk? I mean, I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I'm not saying that. It doesn't have anything to do with that.
He's obviously a good coach, yes.
Yeah, he's obviously a good coach. I just think he acts like an idiot.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I just wanted to hear it. I had never gotten a good answer from you. I know you don't like the way he mooses his hair either, and that's fair too.
I just am just not a fan of his. Obviously, now he might be a really nice guy, but I doubt it. I get a feel for him watching him on TV, and it's kind of like me and Bill Belichick. Only he's a totally different animal.
Yeah, well, Bill has created a persona. I actually suspect Bill's fine, but he's just created an entire persona that he plays to, and he plays it to the hilt.
He does, and I don't like that either. I mean, he's just acts like such a jerk in all those press conferences and things. I don't know. I guess he has to show up, because otherwise I don't know why he does, because he doesn't say anything.
Well, he doesn't want to, and he's told you he doesn't want to be there. So, yeah, he is required to be there. He's going to give you very little, and he's going to move on about his day. I just think it's funny that he dresses like a bum. I mean,
holy smokes, I'm telling you.
I know.
He's certainly come a long way from Tom Landry.
Oh, yeah, to say the least. That's true. Bye, Mama. Love you.
I love you, too. You guys stay warm up there, because I know it's going to be 29 here, so it's got to be really cold up there.
Yeah, 23, 24, somewhere in there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I know you are. Me too. All right, you guys have a good weekend.
You too, Mom.
Go Bengals and go Niners.
There you go. Bye, Mom.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. She's ripped Sean McVay for like 2 years to me. And
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. I would have never guessed.
Yeah, she brings it up every time we have to pick a Rams game to me. She'll be like, oh, that jerk Sean McVay. and we all have people like that where you'll admit that you don't really have a good reason. You know, that you like, you'll say, I don't know, that guy may be a great guy. I have no idea, but he rubs me the wrong way. And that's him for her. Yeah.
Easy. Matt Ryan. You know, that's all about the media loving on him in a way that's unholy and giving him the, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it before he earned it. But it has nothing to do with Matt Ryan.
Yeah. By all accounts, he seems to be a good guy.
Seems to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no reason to think he's not.
But screw him. They just wanted to give everything to him on a silver platter because what? He had Michael Turner for the first 2 years of his career? Great. Now, he turned into a very nice player,
good quarterback.
And the Falcons did a really good job of coddling a young quarterback and turning him and letting him blossom. A lot of organizations don't. See the first Carr brother. But still, the world was like, oh, it's Matt Ryan. Like, he's throwing for 3,200 yards. Let's pipe down a little bit.
So it's funny when we go through the coaches, and I know we got to go to break, but when we go through the coaches, if we're just, because none of us know them. I don't know them. I've never met these guys. I've never even, and we cover the Bucs, I've never even met Bruce Arians, who can be all at once incredibly annoying, but also really, really good. I mean, obviously the amount of people he's given opportunities to is that he was ahead of his time, and he's an interesting cat. When you hear a normal interview with him away from football, he's an interesting guy. But he comes across as an a-hole a lot of times too. I mean, I roll my eyes at Bruce all the time. So I'm hit and miss with him. But you can go one by one through all these coaches, and I think we all have this sense of a guy we like or dislike. We make those decisions about every coach in the league, and it's all from their outward appearance at games, during games, their behavior, their post-game press conferences, any interviews that you can glean, or maybe even the style of play. Like, a lot of times it's like,
or whether they pucker or not in the moment, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Like guys, you grow to have an opinion of where you're like, oh, you're cowering when it's on the line. I wouldn't like you in real life.
That 4-footer looks like 10 feet to you, pal.
Yeah.
You leave it short.
Right. So I'm kind of curious about
all right. So if you could golf in a group of 4 over, say, I don't know, Capital City Country Club.
NFL.
Right. With 3 other NFL head coaches, who would you choose? Because I'll bet Belichick's one of them.
Yeah, he is. Well, because I would want to pick his brain. Like if we're allowed to talk football, I would really like to talk to him because his dad was an amazing scout and had a career in football that is fascinating. And he's interested in a lot of things besides football. People don't realize that. So, I mean, he loves history, me too. So that would be interesting. Yeah, he is one of them. God, I don't know. Who do I?
Well, your mother would never speak to you again if McVay was one of the 4.
Well, he wouldn't be. I actually don't. I'm just interested in him. I don't, that's a good question. I got to think about it during the break. Jeff Cameron Show. We'll come back, wrap it up momentarily. Stay tuned.
When you are approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Pete Tyson and Preservation Financial Group are here to help you preserve your retirement. The team at Preservation Financial Group can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create a comprehensive income plan designed around your needs. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risk before you retire. To schedule a free, no-obligation consultation, reach out to Pete Tyson and Preservation Financial Group today. 850-523-6118. That's 850-523-6118. Or visit them online at preservationfinancialgroup.com.
What's important when shopping at a gun store? Let's start with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Then add top-notch service, great selection and pricing, and a personal shopping experience only found at a locally owned and operated business. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
If you're like most people, you're probably more than a little concerned about the state of the world around us today. Strange times. The stock market all-time highs every day. U.S. debt never been higher right now. Dollars losing value. And let's not forget about inflation, the highest since 2008. Remember what happened in 2008. So How do you protect your money, your retirement, your savings? Well, many people, just like you, are turning to Old Faithful to protect themselves during these difficult times. And Old Faithful is real gold and silver from the Oxford Gold Group, the kind you can actually hold in your hands and have in your IRA. No better time than the present to protect your future and the future of your family. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, 833-928-GOLD. They will send you their free guide on investing in gold and silver and answer all of your questions. Protect your money before things get even worse out there. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-928-GOLD. Oxford is here to help you protect your savings and retirement. That's 833-928-GOLD.
Live and living color and totally free. Subscribe to Warchant TV on YouTube, the digital home of Warchant.com. From the practice field to pregame and the phone calls afterwards, Warchant's YouTube channel is home to live programming like Seminole Headlines, Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, as well as Trench Talk, a live Q&A with Noles offensive lineman Devontae Love-Taylor. Just search Warchant on YouTube and click or tap the subscribe button. That's it. It's totally free. Warchant TV on YouTube. Just another reason we're the ultimate Seminole sports source.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Good one.
Pete Carroll.
Oh,
we're playing golf. You said we're playing golf.
Yeah, I know. I feel like he'd be fake.
I think he'd be fun. Like if he felt safe, everything's off the record, we're all having fun, he'd be fun. Because he's got some stories. The USC stuff.
That's true.
I mean,
yeah,
he's
it's
got
fascinating.
some stories, yeah. So Pete Carroll, Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick.
That's it. That's your group of 4.
And if I'm going to name a 4th coach and I'm the 5th, then maybe, well, if we're having fun, Dan Campbell.
Okay, question. So we were debating this during the break. Do you think he would be actually fun, or do you think
over the top?
Do you think he's preachy?
No, I think he's fun.
You think he's fun?
Yeah. I think Dan Campbell. Now, this is
see, I think Bruce would be a good guy to go get, because if you got Bill and Bruce, Bill would open up around Bruce. I think. So that would
I actually think Bill would open up, period. Again, this is the safe zone, Bill. Nothing is going to get repeated. Right. We're all like, just, have a lot of fun with this. Guy you would least want to golf with, Matt Rule.
Oh, that's up
insufferable,
there.
Right?
Yeah. Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Sean Payton.
He's
not there.
You and my mother, right?
No, that's McVay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Payton.
Yeah. He'd be hopped up on goofballs. You know who would not be fun to golf with? I don't think, because I think he would be too serious. Is Mike Vrabel. Good coach.
Yes, he would have the rage. I said he would be the guy that would hit it in the trees and then hit the tee marker off of the.
He'd be furious.
Like there goes the white tee flying down the fairway.
Andy Reid might be fun to golf with.
Andy Reid, Mike McCarthy. There you go.
Oh, I don't want Mike McCarthy's fat, sorry ass. I don't want to be around him. No. Let's go quick. North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com.
Hey, Big Daddy, having some red Russians tonight?
We'll know in about 47 seconds.
We're going to go, what did I go with? I think I screwed this up.
Damn, Big Daddy's done it again.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead. 30 seconds or so.
We're going to take the over in the Rhode Island-Dayton game.
What?
We're going to take the over in the Rhode Island-Dayton game.
That's a play. That sounds like a 40-unit play to me. The over in the Rams and Chiefs. I got no hockey for you this weekend. Rest on my laurels.
Damn it, I wanted that hockey bet, Tom. You've been on fire. Good work out of you. Good work, Matt. You guys have a great weekend. Go Noles tomorrow on the hardwood, and we'll talk to you Monday.